Hi everybody. I'm sorry I've been away so long again. As you can tell, I sound funny. Let's see, on February the 3rd, we went to Mom's home where she's living and we got a TV installed, so we were there all day. I was perfectly fine. The next day, just like that, I come down with this flu. And it's just, I think, a result for me of just so much happening all of December. Mom not being well, falling, ending up in the hospital, trying to find a home for her, and getting through all the hoops they want, and people coming here to the house to help me look after her. And I think it was just too run down. Now, anybody else trying to do what I did, and I looked after Mom. She was in her early 80s when she came to stay with me, and 18 years later, it was getting to be too much. Her care, she needs 24-hour care. So if this happens to anybody out there, don't let yourself get depressed or beat up over it, because you've done your best for so long, and you're not Superwoman. I'm going to be 77 in June, so I'm not sweet 16 anymore, and it was getting to be a lot of work. And I didn't know it. I never planned for it. But as things happened over Christmas and the winter, and I realized I couldn't do it anymore. So I ended up with this flu. So Jack has not caught it. He's healthy. Everybody I know is healthy. We got in touch with Mom in the home. Everybody there is fine, and she is healthy. It's just I caught this, and I haven't had a bug in so long. But it's a flu, and I even ended up in the emergency ward and had an x-ray done, and my lungs are fine. There's no pneumonia. But even over a week later, this is what it's like. But it is starting to get better. And I went out for the first time this morning because usually Thursday mornings early before the rush, we went and get groceries. And Jack did it last Thursday, but this Thursday, I decided, okay, I'm at the end of this thing. I'm just going to go out and cover myself up and not infect anybody, and get some groceries in the house. So then something exciting happened, you see. You know, it doesn't matter how many orchids you have. You walk in the store, and of course it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, and you see all these orchids and other flowers, and it doesn't matter how many are blooming in my house, which is quite a few and more coming. I saw one that was so beautiful. Now they had two kinds of orchids there. They had orchids in moss, like normal, you know, the standard ones, and then they had a half a dozen orchids from www.cosmicplants.com, and this was the Artisca brand from Ontario. I'll tell you more about that on planning day. But when I looked, there were other orchids that didn't look as pretty, but were in bigger pots. You know, the normal standard plastic pot, but bigger ones than this. They were $50, and they've never had ones in bark before. I've always asked them, but maybe somehow they found it and thought they'd try some, so that I'm going to show you. Now, I've got it sitting in this big glass pot because one thing about, if you can't find someone to drill some holes in a glass vase for you, and you want to grow it like it's in a glass vase. Well, the clear pots, which is what this company grows in, they have quite a write-up on their site. And as you can see, they have clear pots, and they're letting the light in them. And so the roots are green, and they're in pine bark. The reason they're using pine bark instead of moss is because pine bark is more sustainable here. We can get it in Canada. I'm going to be looking for some. You can get it in Canada. Where moss now, moss is harder and harder to come by, and I'll go more into that another day. So anyway, when I saw this orchid, now you guys, you can understand. And Jack is with me, and he says, honey, it'll be Valentine's gift for both of us. Okay. So, he was trying to perk me up because it's been rough. I'm trying to do my best with what's been going on. And it was minus 18 here this morning, and it has been mornings lately for quite some time. Sunny blue sky, minus 18. And this poor little orchid, it had to, it's got a piece here. Oh, it broke off. Anyway, it was so cold. There's one little piece off of here. It's supposed to be right there. But that's because you go to the stores here and they're not prepared because the orchid's got to go out in the winter. So Jack had this plastic bag he put over the bottom, and she put a paper bag over the top. But on doing so, there was an injury. But I still love it. I have lots of purple orchids, but honest to goodness, the size of these flowers, and they're so beautiful. Now they're in a nice small pot in pine bark. There's the leaves look healthy, but I am going to repot it. I'm going to leave the pine bark, but I will be putting bark. So let me just put this here for a minute, because that's one thing about the glass vases. They are heavy enough, your orchid won't fall over, but this one would have to be put into something, even a glass one that gets some light through it still, so that it doesn't fall over. But the price of the other ones in moss was $50. The price of this one was $35.99. And for here, where our groceries have at least tripled, I was happy with that. And besides, I felt I needed the love of an orchid. And even though I've had all this going on, I'm still enjoying my orchids. So I'm going to just set this one here, and pardon me for turning my back to you. Now, without getting Jack to drill a whole bunch more holes in vases, I have some that are in need of some work. So what I think I'm going to do is, in the sink here, I have my old dendrobium. There was two that got left out in the winter, and they all froze in the greenhouse because we had colder and colder weather than normal. I lost the other ones. They were all mushy. Now this one flowered the time after, but now it's still looking not that great. And I'm wasting a pot here with some little babies that came off of some other dendrobiums. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these ones and add them to this pot. So I'm going to give you a close-up. So we'll go in a little closer. There, let's see. Let's see, we'll go in here, and then let's go down. There. That might sort of do it. So You don't get to look at me, but I'm not much to look at right now. Or I don't sound good, but I am trying to do this. So anyway, I'll pull up my sleeves. Now this orchid, these are its roots, and it's pretty dry. It's a little damp there. There's some roots coming off. See what's happening in here. Nothing too serious, I don't think. And I'm not going to disturb it too much. I'm just going to set it in the other sink. And there is some roots that came off. I'm going to pick the top layer out and put it in my compost bin. There's just a few roots, and it's a little thicker than I want. This is what I got, and I just think I'm going to pick some of it out, and I'm going to get my corks, and I'm going to add a little airspace to the bottom of this. I think I set corks right here. So I'm going to take some corks, because I have found the orchids like them, the roots like clinging to them, and it does help with the airspace. And I found the ones that were in glass that, because the bark was so small, they just weren't getting the air circulation. So I'm going to mix these in here. There's a rock that's at the bottom for drainage. There, okay. Now we're pretty good, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but this is how this one was. Now, I think it's going to be loose enough that I can manage to get these little ones in. So if I just take this and put it over here, because I won't be potting the new orchid until I soak some bark, and I'm going to do it, I'm not going to leave it in how it is for now, excuse me. Okay. This is the first day I felt like doing anything. I have actually gained 3 pounds while I've been sick, so, because I have been no housework, no nothing, other than cooking and eating. That's it. That's it. Nothing's been getting done, basically. Sadly, I'm not my normal person, and I don't feel like my normal person, but we're going to survive. So now, what we want to do is, and the reason I'm doing this is because I need some vases. I have something else that's going to be happening in the next month, more orchids, and I need some vases. And this one here, it got the big lava pieces in the bottom before I started using cork, and they're way too heavy. I won't be using them again. They serve their purpose, but way too heavy. But what I do need to do, there we go. There we go. That way, this vase will get a little washout, and then this orchid, which I'll explain after, is going in there. So, we got a bit of a mess here. Okay, we still got some roots on these. Look at this. Yeah, I think there's one lava rock on this one. The roots are all good, but really I don't, there's one here and one here. I think that's it. Yeah, so now what I want to do is sneak these in this pot. Okay, and we're going to have to sort of do it on the side because, and I'm letting some bark sort of fall from the top down inside. So I'm just going to try and do this from the side. Here I'm just going to dig a hole in there, and And they're all looking spindly, like this plant used to look really thick and nice, like my other new ones I've got, and I'll be showing you them after. So it's just a matter of finding a place to put them. Now these have been in the new patio, our little kind of workroom. We call it the pods, and they've been in there which is been hot lately because it's been so cold, and the furnace is running all the time. So I'm going to put extra bark in there, and this can go on the top. I'll be just not using these. Sometimes I might think of a reason to use them, but for now it's not on the agenda. I really am enjoying the glass vases, and I've just got this one orchid in here we'll talk about in a minute that's not happy in the vase, and I don't think it's a vase, I just think it's an orchid that isn't happy. And I want to take it out and move it, which I will be doing. Okay. There, that way you see the bark that was a little damper is going on the top, which will be drier. And this other stuff I won't be using. Now I have stuff in the bottom of the sink. So a lot of these are spindly. Very carefully move that in there. Now some of them will adjust or they won't, but I thought, well, they're probably better off in there than using one vase, which is just more watering, more looking after when you got a new orchid. And I'm trying to get things because I've been looking after them, and even though like yesterday was watering day, and it takes me like, I think I started, well, after we've had breakfast we do our morning devotional, which I will not do, so we do that and start our day off right. And then I've been using one of those red light, just a little square thing, and I noticed it was helping my chest break up, and I was using it on my chest and on my legs, and 20 minutes each time. So I do that, and then I come and water because I knew I wasn't going anywhere, and I might as well look after myself. So anyway, these might all just perk up, and we're going to hope they will. Now, luckily I got the plug in, and nothing's going down the drain. So, there. So that's a pretty good start for that one. I still got some more bark to clean out, but that's okay. It's always good to have a reason to clean your sink. So, that just solved one big vase. So let me see, I'm just going to put this over here for now. And now, this vase is going to get a little wash out. There. Let's see, clean that out. I think I'm on it's cold is getting better. It's just, it's a pretty bad, apparently at the hospital they said flus were late coming around in DC this year, and I don't know where I caught it. I have nobody else I know had it, but when your system's weak and run down, that's what happens. That's what happens. So, And she said, well, did you get your flu shot? Well, there's another story, because we did all our shots when Mom was here, and then we did all those COVID shots. And the last one, it was a booster supposedly, but to seniors over a certain age, they tell us when we went for them, oh, you're going to get the special booster, you're getting the full dose. Well, that full dose almost killed me. So, you know, and then I'm just losing faith in some of these things. Then I heard that they were using parts of that shot, because they had all this stuff left over, to put in the flu shots. And I thought, no, Mom, nobody got the flu shot. So, in fact, I think they said it's down to about only 26% of people got it, because I'm sure there's a lot of people feeling the same way. Know people that got deathly ill just from the shot. So, no, I didn't get the flu shot, but I'm developing natural immunity. So, now, I am using some cork in here. And, okay, let's discuss. Okay, what I'm doing is, in 3 days, approximately, because you never know what's going to happen in this place. Excuse me. In 3 days, I'll be repotting the new orchid in this vase. Now this orchid, it had 2 spikes on it, and you can see probably where they were. There was 2 spikes. I left them on it the whole length of time, and the leaves were looking limp, and I should have checked, because I've never had that. Usually everything adjusts quite nicely. So I did check it one day, and I wasn't liking the look of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this plant in this vase, because I want to put the new one in this one. So I'll put some cork in the bottom. And I'm not going to put the big lava rock again, because it made it very heavy. So I don't mind if there's a bunch of cork in the bottom and it's light, but it still serves a good purpose. So now we're going to take this. I don't want to put my dishcloth in the thing, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay. I think it will perk up, but I think it's going to be a while perking up. That's what I think. Okay, that should be good for there. So, I'm going to show you up close. Now, one day when I was watering, I noticed how bad this was, and so I thought, well, I'm going to look, and I didn't like what I found. But what I did see was there's one little root trying to grow in here. These ones I think will grow. The rest did not look too good. So, therefore, I'm going to put it in this vase, and it's going to go in the patio where I have a couple sad orchids in there. So, now at the top, there's not as many holes in this one, so we got airspace at the bottom where the cork is, and then not as many holes here, but this will dry from the top. So, and it's going to be a lot easier to handle. Then I want to show you some of the orchids that are blooming right now. I have some around me. Yeah, this one's sad. Now, It was day 6 of my watering schedule on Wednesday, yesterday, and it was seaweed extract, and I know they love that. So I decided I better do this. I'm still not pushing myself to housework. I mean, no one's coming in with me with this bug. We were going to get company, but nope, don't come. Don't come. So better off to keep everybody away. So this one here is going to go here, and I'll wash it. And the new orchid will be going in this pot, which I love, the cone shape. All the other orchids are doing good. And this one, I'm going to give it a bit of a soak. Just run some water in there. And I'll show you. Now, we started putting more holes in the vases. One in the bottom. And you see most of the vases that we've done, we've added more holes than. This is one of the ones we did in the beginning. And you have to tip it. Now, it's only a matter, but some of them we're putting now a hole in the very bottom or near the bottom. So, if you just tip it like this and hold your hand, the water does run out. And you can pick it up, but it's way easier now with all that lava rock out, which is quite heavy. So then we'll let this one, the top will dry. I usually like them a little higher off the surface of the bark, but right now with this one with not many roots, we're going to leave it like that. And this one will be going in the patio with the other ones that are my TLC orchids. So I'm going to put it there, and there. So I'll give you a close-up of the mess I've made. Let's see here. Yeah. I'll give you a close-up of the mess I made. I'll show you a few of the other orchids, and yeah, a little bit of a tour. Okay. Okay. There. So, yesterday was watering day, so you can see in here. Let's see. These are newer roots that have grown since it's been in there, and there's some new roots there. And then up here, just beautiful. And in the back, we have this one. And it was watering day, so you can see the green roots. They are liking it, and you can see how the cork does actually give some airspace. So when the holes, see now this one has holes down low, and probably we're putting about 6. And this one, these ones I weren't getting flowered, and there's another bud coming there. And they're just doing good. And you can see, because this bark is so small, if I don't add these corks, the airspace just doesn't cut it. Trying to get some light there. This is a flower I knocked off of the one in the window. And look at this one. It's so beautiful. And it's also, you can see when they get on the cork, they start to stick. And they love that because they can't stick to the glass, which I am liking a lot. So, and here we have some yellow ones. And here's Georgia Pearl. Now, all hers aren't open yet, but she's beautiful. And I'm going to be putting her in a glass vase. This sitting in here, this is a toilet paper holder, this sitting in here has not been working for me. So the new orchid, which is behind here, just huge flowers, just really different. It's called Hurricane. So she'll be going in that vase beside her. And I've just put the little basket I have here because the they're so happy. The leaves are shiny, and I'd put a bunch of ones that weren't doing well in this basket about 2 years ago, and they finally started to come of their own. Now this one with the long leaves, it seems to flower later. It's been flowering, but it seems to flower later. And in here, of course, is the dendrobiums. And how this one does, I don't know, because I don't think it's looking really well. And this is the mess I got to clean up when I'm done here. So let's go look in this window. This is the one I knocked the bud off of watering day. So this one's been my first one that went in a glass, similar to the one I'm going to use next. I did in November 2022. So it was the first one that made me start, when I saw how good it was doing, that made me start saying, okay, I'm going to keep doing this, and then the more I put in, the more I like. And there's our outside. We got snow on the ground, not much snow here, but just sunny and cold. And then I have a little one that I almost lost and put in a glass vase, and it's struggling, but I think it's going to make it, and it's so cute too. So, and these ones, of course, I will be checking the pots before they go back out in the spring. And 2 fells in a traffic cone. And here I am getting a spike way inside there, very small, so this will be a late one. And this is one of my oldest orchids I'd also love to put in a glass pot, because they start to stick to these pots, the roots, and I'm probably going to end up with all glass vases the way I'm going. And up here I have a yellow one. It's been in this pot quite a while, and it likes this pot, and it's going to be left there. And then over here I have a small spike coming on this one, and I had accidentally did this one watering day. I have one little fell opened in here, and these still haven't done anything yet, but they may. And I don't have anything in these windows because they're north windows. They're beautiful in the summer, even in the winter, but with this -18, this is not working. Now, it's warmed up to 0. I can see it on the thermometer over there. It's warmed up to 0, but it doesn't get any warmer. But hopefully there's a change coming, you know. So one more window for orchids. In here, we won't go to the patio today. So in here, we have a lot of flowers just getting ready to open. And this traffic cone has 2 big spikes, a new one coming, and one over there with quite a few flowers. And this traffic cone has a big spike coming, will be opening soon. And this dendrobium was a no-name dendrobium. Now that's the thickness I like to see on the stalks. And over here we've got ones in glass. can see new root growth here. So they have, and this is the best my Sherryannas have done. I have 3 leaves on this one, and not too sure what's happening there. And this one has been struggling, but they're doing better than they've done. And this spike here, so thanks for joining me, and I hope I've sounded a little better on the next video. Thanks. Bye for now. Oh.